Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is the Soulverse Podcast, episode 19. I am Jessica Delmar, and today we are going to be going into part 4 of the gut-mind series that we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks. If you have not yet listened to the first 3 parts, go ahead and listen to the first 3 parts. I'll put a link in the description, and then come into this part 4 because we are going to continue to dive deep into the gut. And today we are talking all about Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, and 3 levels of awakening. At the end of this episode, we're going to be providing you guys with a powerful mantra intention, which will help to open up the heart, head, and gut minds to really receive more truth, to open and reveal truth through all of the illusion and help in the awakening process of these 3 minds. So stay tuned. At the end of this episode, we'll go through that mantra intention together. I'm just going to go ahead and read what came through. Your gut, when open, is an open field of energy that grounds you into the earth, into Gaia, in new and exciting ways. Your gut transports you into the energetic body of Gaia. You can very much compare the magic field in your gut to the story of Alice in Wonderland, the original 1951 cartoon movie version. Your gut is a magical realm where anything really is possible. Your gut is your doorway to your multidimensionality on the earth plane. Earth is so much more than what you see, much like how Alice enters into Wonderland through a doorway upon earth. Your gut connects you to Earth's multidimensionality. You are a multidimensional being, and Earth is also a multidimensional being. Your gut grounds you into the earth as part of the earth and gives you the ability to explore the multidimensional nature of earth. On the other hand, your heart and your brain mind open your consciousness and spiritual expansion, which helps to open your multidimensionality in non-physical, higher planes of existence. Your gut as a human race has been suppressed for a very long time, which opens the nature of illusion into your awareness. Illusion casts shadows and invisible cats, and this is an Alice in Wonderland reference to the Cheshire cat. But truth through an open gut opens much like the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. So the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland repeatedly asks Alice, "Who are you?" In which Alice responds a bit unsure of who she is, which is simply a side effect of her time spent in the nonsense of Wonderland. So the question, "Who are you?" from the caterpillar signifies the notion of needing to understand who you truly are, and the importance of remembering who you truly are in the illusion of that Wonderland realm. The mannerism of the caterpillar signifies an impermanent, altered state of being, really confirming this when he ultimately transforms from the caterpillar into a butterfly that flies off. The caterpillar is also the one to teach Alice about eating the mushrooms, which will help her to become bigger or smaller when she needs to in order to adapt to her surroundings. What the mushroom actually does is help Alice to gain this bigger, greater perspective when she eats it and literally becomes bigger in size. So for example, when she goes to the trial with the Queen of Hearts, she eats a mushroom and she becomes bigger in size. And although she became bigger in size before, she felt a little bit out of place. But it was at that trial where she finally receives that bigger perspective, and she looks at the Queen's soldiers, who are these sort of walking, talking, living cards, and she says to them, "But you're nothing but a pack of cards." And she holds them in her hand and she sort of flicks them off. And I think she also went to the Queen and said, you're nothing but a mean tyrant." And so With Alice's bigger size and perspective, she's no longer frightened of the queen or her card soldiers, and she even makes the queen quiver at Alice's size and confidence. But when Alice starts to become smaller again in size, she no longer has that advantage of the bigger size or that bigger perspective, and so the queen goes back to being an angry tyrant, and then now shouting off with her head and chasing Alice all the way back through Wonderland and back to the door that she came through. But when Alice goes back to the door that she came through, the door is locked. And so Alice starts yanking on the door, on the handle, and she's banging on the door and saying, "Please let me out, please let me out." But the door replies and tells her, "Alice, but you're already out, you're already out." And so this is when Alice realizes that she's actually sleeping, and so she tells herself, "Wake up, Alice, wake up." And she finally wakes up in her outer original reality with nothing but the memory of her time in Wonderland. So I went over that storyline because it's really significant in terms of what's happening right now and how it connects to the gut and awakening that gut mind, if you will. So Alice in Wonderland takes us on a journey of pure, free thought within illusion. It is a realm of nothing is as it seems, and we want to reference this when diving further into the gut. Your gut is a wonderland, and your journey through your gut is much like Alice's journey through her wonderland. If your gut is closed and burdened with illusion, it's much like you are stuck in the immense nonsense and illusionary aspect of Wonderland. When your gut is open, you have the ability to navigate Wonderland, knowing who you truly are, and seeing the illusion and the nonsense for what it is. So first, let's define illusion, because I know a lot of people sort of get tripped up when we speak about illusion. So when we reference illusion, we're not referencing a ghost aspect or something that doesn't exist, but we are referencing a person, place, thing, or situation as something that exists in a hall of mirrors, if you will, which is essentially just illusion finding home in your perspective. Meaning, every single person sees the world through your own unique perspective and will view and experience energy through your own unique vibration. You create your own reality. So Alice experienced Wonderland very differently than the creatures who lived there, for example, because she had a bigger perspective and she had those connections to bigger truth of who she was and where she came from. So illusion essentially means one thing to one person and another thing to another person. It is nothing that is absolute, only absolutely open to interpretation through your perspective. And so even dark and light are illusions. Good and bad are illusions. And this is because your definition of everything in your reality, whether dark or light, good or bad, will always align to your own unique vibration and how you interpret your reality. So essentially, your entire reality is illusion because your ultimate truth is knowing who you truly are, which is non-physical source energy, having a physical experience within a hall of mirrors, if you will, within this realm where everything is reflecting back to you, your own vibration and your perception. Understanding illusion versus truth is very significant at this time of shifting consciousness, and this is also why it references back to Alice in Wonderland. This is because there are 3 levels to shifting consciousness and awakening, and all 3 levels deal with sifting and sorting between truth and illusion. And if you hold firm to your inner truth, first you must discover what your inner truth is and recognize it and awaken to it. You will then move through all the obstacles of awakening and shifting between dimensions. So we're going to talk about the 3 levels, but just keep in mind that they're not in order because there is no order. It is simply just a state or a stage of recognition, awakening, and enlightenment within each level, which is part of your greater journey. Okay, so the 3 levels of awakening and enlightenment. Again, we're not speaking in any order. Number 1 is the head or the brain mind. So recognizing truth versus illusion in the head or brain mind is about taking responsibility for your reality and understanding that you are creating your own reality and that everything is a reflection of you and your vibration. Illusion is that you create by default and that you have no control over how your reality plays out for you. Illusion is that you are purely physical beings first, with physical wants and desires that come first, and then that you are a non-physical being as an afterthought. But truth is that you are not physical beings having a physical experience, but you are non-physical source energy beings having a physical experience for the greater expansion of your soul and for all. So recognizing illusion versus truth in the head or the brain mind, and then choosing to follow truth over illusion within this level of awakening is what allows you to master the head mind. The second level of awakening, again, no order, is the heart. Recognizing truth versus illusion in the heart mind is about understanding real love over illusionary love. Real love is unconditional love, grace, compassion, and forgiveness. It is Christ consciousness in the heart and unconditional love for the self and for others. False or illusionary love is based in the physical. It is what you think you want but do not need. It is what you think will make you happy but does not fulfill you. It is what you desire and lust after, not from the heart, but from the physical wants and desires. True love is not found in the physical or even outside of you, but is found within you. It is found in the breaking of the heart wide open. It is found in vulnerability, openness, and humility. It is your key to living life to the fullness, and never wanting for nothing, but always having what you need. It is the tether between you and Source. Recognizing illusion versus truth in the heart mind, and then choosing to follow truth over illusion within this level of awakening is what allows you to master the heart mind. And the third level of awakening is through the gut mind. So the gut and everything that we're speaking about in this gut mind series, basically. So recognizing truth versus illusion in the gut mind is about understanding illusion versus truth in your physical reality. It is about being grounded in the physical, but still being connected to Source, having its physical experience in truth. It is about not getting lost in the illusion of the physical, which offers many shiny distractions. So, truth in the gut is about sifting and sorting between what is truth in your physical and what is false. This is actually a hard level to master for a lot of people in your collective, because illusion in your physical realm wears many masks. It's about distinguishing between light and dark, good and bad, only so that you can maintain your spiritual path and not get lost in the illusion. A quick roadmap to understanding how to navigate truth versus illusion in the physical is this. Know thy enemy, for knowing who you are against opens you to knowing who you are for, or what you're for, or what you stand for, if you will. But you don't stop there, because then in knowing who you are for, or what you stand for, you know that truth is not found in who you are for or what you stand for, but rather truth is found in the feeling of what it stands for or what you stand for, not the physical representation of what it is. Navigating light and dark, good and bad, is about understanding what the feeling is within you. What does it feel like for you within that opens up truth within you? And that's what you're following. You're not necessarily following the representation of it in the physical. You're following it within. Meaning, there are many wolves in sheep's clothing playing in the illusion of your physical realm. Mastering the gut is not about holding so tightly to what is playing out in the physical, but is about finding the inner truth of a reality that aligns to your inner truth and spiritual knowledge. Attaching to physical representations in your physical realm only opens a Pandora's box of wolves in sheep's clothing, false prophets, and illusions with masks on, desiring to play with your three minds. Even when there is truth in the physical, non-attachment is still important because it allows you to experience it without getting attached to any outcome or expectation. Recognizing illusion versus truth in the gut mind, and then choosing to follow truth over illusion within this level of awakening is what allows you to master the gut mind. So those were the 3 levels of awakening: the head, the heart, and the gut. When your gut is open, it's not necessarily about the health of your gut, but it's about the energy that flows through your gut. But of course, the energy and health of your gut are connected, and so healing the gut means opening the energy to flow properly and freely in and through your gut. When your gut is open, it unlocks a region of your consciousness that allows you to see and sense illusionary realms, known and unknown to your seeing eye. You release attachment to your current reality, the nonsensical realm, so that you can navigate Wonderland with truth instead of confusion. When we say Wonderland, we mean that your current reality is Wonderland, essentially. Your present reality is illusion. It is Wonderland. So when going down the rabbit hole of your gut, it is the unveiling of the illusion and the opening of your inner truth, seeing past the illusion of your current reality. This is not necessarily spiritual, but it's physical, and yet physical and spiritual are connected. However, your gut leads to open truth in your physical realm because your gut strongly grounds you and connects you to your physical earth plane. Your heart and your head minds lead to open truth in your non-physical, higher and spiritual connections. There are many things unfolding upon your earth plane that are pure illusion. Some may even say nonsensical, but it's being laid out in the physical realm as truth. There are currently many people working to expose lies, corruption, and hidden agendas behind the curtain of what you see playing out on the world stage. These people are able to see the illusion in your reality on the ground level. They know that there is a mortal man behind the curtain operating the all-knowing, all-powerful wizard that keeps many in manipulation and believing the illusion. And yet, many people in your realm still believe in the all-knowing, all-powerful, illusionary wizard and dismiss thoughts that it could actually be anything else, let alone a mortal man behind the curtain. And so, there are many layers to master when it comes to spiritual awakening, and all layers are connected. Being open to sensing illusion as a non-physical being, having a physical experience, is one layer of spiritual awakening in your heart and your head. But another form of awakening is your ability as the non-physical being having a physical experience to then also sense the illusion open within your physical experience. This may not necessarily be a spiritual awakening, although they can certainly be connected, and most often are connected, but it is a physical awakening. Your ability to use your instincts to decipher between lies and truth within your physical realm will help you to physically transition into New Earth 5D. You must be able to sift and sort between truth and lies in your physical realm in order to build a physical New Earth 5D for you to experience as a collective. Your 3D realm is built upon lies, injustice, corruption, and fear. And in order to awaken in your physical reality, you must be able to distinguish between the lies and the illusion and truth. Your shift is not just a consciousness shift, but a physical shift too. And it's so important now more than ever to focus on the shift of your physical forms. This is because, although your consciousness and your energy can shift very quickly, your physical is what tethers you to the earth plane, and your physical forms, having been birthed upon the earth plane, may unknowingly have all of these 3D tethers and attachments to it, preventing it from fully moving into 5D. Alice in Wonderland is a great movie to watch at this moment, as many of you are navigating the physical world and reality that no longer really makes sense to a lot of you. It showcases how to continue moving forward, even when presented with things that don't make sense in your reality. Your 3D reality is simply a realm, just as Wonderland was a realm that Alice stepped into. The question is, does it make your 3D world any more logical than Wonderland? Just because your current world is tangible and where your consciousness is in your now moment, does it make it any different than a realm such as Wonderland? When you pair your physical awakening with your spiritual awakening, you will more easily be able to navigate the illusionary maze of your realm. Alice ate the mushroom to get bigger in size, but it also came with bigger perspective, which is what ultimately allowed her to truly understand where and who she was. When you're able to bring forth your greater perspective of your spiritual awakening as non-physical energy having a physical experience, you will be able to conquer all of the nonsense and illusion of your current tangible reality with a greater perspective, knowledge of your inner truth, and tether to who you truly are as non-physical source energy having a physical experience. When you're able to conquer both your physical and spiritual awakening, it is then that you are energetically ready to fully transition into 5D. Your 5D reality will make itself known to you, just like when Alice realized that she was already back in her reality, she just needed to wake up. So Alice's journey into Wonderland was an under-realm journey. She dove into a lower realm or a lower dimensional realm, and her journey was one of finding her way back out and up into her higher realm, if you will. She awakened into her higher realm, but also realized that she was there all along, even when her consciousness was journeying through the lower realm of Wonderland. So this represents your shift into 5D. You will get to a point where many things may become so unrealistic, nonsensical, and illusionary, or you may even start feeling like you're being run out of your realm, just like Alice was being chased out by the queen. So be prepared. Your reality, your realm may push you to the limits of what you may be able to give. And many of you already feel like you're no longer part of the reality that's currently playing out. And so you're already aware of the layers of the realm that you exist within, but you also know that there's another layer of a higher realm that exists to open into. When this happens, you will soon come to realize that you were never in the realm to begin with, just as Alice realized that all she had to do was wake up. So my question was, how do people awaken into the next higher realm? What came through is, you take a page from The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy clicked her heels together and said, "There's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home." Click your heels together and believe that you are already in 5D. 5D is here. It has been here all along. Everything exists in your now moment, And your journey of awakening has been about finding your way back to your now moment, where you can then access who you truly are, and then access the portal that will take you into the next realm of consciousness, which is 5D. In other words, you open a portal found in the now moment that will awaken you in the next higher realm, or 5D, where you already exist and have been existing this entire time. Your consciousness just simply needs to shift from the 3D realm into the 5D realm, just like Alice's consciousness exited Wonderland and woke up where she was, or always was, in her higher reality. Your transition into 5D will not be as black and white as Alice's transition from Wonderland into waking up in her higher realm. And this is because most of you are not going to be croaking or transitioning or dying, but instead, it's like a dissolving transition in a film or a video from one scene into the next. If you slow that dissolving transition down really, really slow, frame by frame, you will notice that the next scene just slowly folds into the first one. It dissolves together until the next scene is fully in picture. And so the process will be a slow folding of 5D into your 3D realm. You're pulling it into your experience until your awareness of 5D becomes more complete. Think about the last moments of Alice's time in Wonderland. She ran all the way back through the Wonderland realm, passing every character, every place that she journeyed through to get back to the door in which she entered in the first place. In other words, it's almost about you needing to go backwards in order to go forward. So many of you have done past life regression and healing of your past wounds and traumas, etc., etc. So you now realize how important going backward is in your ability to prepare to fully move forward. In order to keep that transition and process moving along, frame by frame, you must hold the space for the second scene to come into full awareness. People may get frustrated at the slow shift, but the addition of resistance into the process only makes the shift slower for you, and you could possibly find yourself getting stuck in that transition of perpetual overlapping of 3D and 5D realms. You must hold faith and belief in your life in 5D, just as Dorothy believed every minute that she was clicking her heels together, saying there's no place like home. She needed to feel being at home and believe that she was returning home in order to shift her consciousness to being home. The transition of 3D into 5D has been happening slowly for quite some time now, on a greater macro scale. But you must recognize that there are many layers playing out. You, as an individual, have been on your journey of remembering who you truly are, as well as opening your spiritual awakening and your physical awakening. Many of your physical awakenings are being triggered by recent events and really truly being able to see the separation of truth versus illusion, which was very blended in your collective consciousness up until recently, really. It's beginning to split like oil on water, and with this separation does not create separation in your consciousness, but actually brings wholeness and integration of inner truth, which sets your physical tethers free. The integration of truth and the unraveling from illusion allows your physical to be set free and fully detach from 3D in order to transition more fully into 5D. In other words, the particles of physical form are able to sort of dissolve from the 3D layer and open into the 5D layer in the transition of one scene into the next. You must shift your attention to your 5D aspect while maintaining steady footing in your now moment. You must reach for more while at the same time standing steady in your now moment. This is a process of energy tuning and balancing really powerfully going on right now, something that you have to learn to adapt to and work with, if you will. This is about learning how much to push, how much to pull, how much to strengthen, how much to soften between your now moment and where you want to go. And to end this episode, we want to provide you with a powerful mantra, or a mantra intention, if you will, to help the heart, head, and gut to open and reveal truth and awaken inner empowerment. So this is going to really help to heal all of the three minds, set your three minds free from any physical attachments, and open higher frequency in the body to dissolve any lower vibrational energy that does not serve. And this is the mantra intention. Feel free to close your eyes and place one hand over your gut and one hand over your heart. Today, I energetically open love, wisdom, and truth for myself and others. I am a visionary who embraces life to the fullest and who decides my own fate as a powerful creator being. I am a seeker of truth and open truth within others. I am the beating heart of Source, vibrating in freedom and know no form of limitation. And so it is. I'll write out that mantra intention below in the description. And that's it for part 4. There's still another part, so I'm going to post part 5 soon, and there might even be a part 6. I haven't yet completed this series. I'm still bringing through information, so we'll see how far it goes. But in the next video, we'll go through part 5, continuing to talk about the gut. Because there's just so much information coming through and how it is so relevant and relates so much to what's going on in the world right now in this powerful time that we are going through in distinguishing between truth and illusion in our physical reality, and really opening up the gut and mastering that gut mind in order for the gut, heart, and mind to fully begin working together in harmony, in unity, and spinning us into those higher vibrations and physically existing in a higher dimensional space. Thank you everyone for being here and listening in. This podcast can now be found on all podcast platforms, so listen and subscribe on Apple iTunes, Google, Spotify, Anchor, and as always, it's available on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Oneness, love, and peace be with you.